Hello everyone, I'm Geek Freak and welcome to the video. Today's video is going to be for the Kirby fanbase. This is a message to the Kirby fans, and my message is this. Dear Kirby fans, around 4 years ago, I did a reaction of Screw Attack's death battle of Kirby versus Majin Buu. And to those of you who have seen the video, you guys have probably guessed that I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan. And to those of you who haven't seen the reaction video, well, I've just said I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan. And I'm going to say this now. If you guys haven't seen the video of Screw Attack's Buu versus Kirby, go and watch that video now because I'm going to give spoilers of what happened. In fact, this whole video is going to be one big massive spoiler for that video. And no, I'm not going to be talking about everything that's wrong with Kirby versus Majin Buu. I just want to say this to the Kirby fans, and it is this. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry for being immature in that video. Yes, I am a Dragon Ball Z fan, and I do hope all the characters from my favourite show does win in fights. And I'm just going to be honest, when I watched Dragon Ball Z as a kid or a teenager, I genuinely believed that no character could beat characters like Goku or Vegeta, Majin Buu, Cell, etc, etc. And I'm talking about characters from other fictions, not in the actual show itself. And this was the narrow thinking of a huge fanboy. And over the years of being on YouTube, researching the internet, discussions, comments, it's thanks to these things that I got out of that mindset. And I do acknowledge that there are characters in other fictions that will always be able to defeat Goku. And the same thing could be said for Superman. Well, depending on which fictional character you're talking about, and depending on which Superman you're talking about, there are other fictional characters that can beat most versions, if not all versions of Superman. And there are fictional characters that can beat Goku, Superman, Kirby, etc, etc. And I do admit that Goku isn't an omnipotent, reality-warping, omnipresent, all-powerful god that can defeat anybody in all of fiction. And even though I know Goku can defeat versions of Superman, Goku can't defeat all versions of Superman. There are versions of Superman that Goku can never defeat. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Because if Goku was to be an all-powerful fictional character that can beat absolutely anybody, then it wouldn't be Goku anymore. Goku's main objective is to get stronger and learn from every fight, so he can get better for the next villain. And you know what? That's just how it works with Goku. And you know what? This is the way I like Goku. He isn't all powerful, but he works hard in order to become stronger. And that, in my opinion, is something to be inspired by. And from what you guys can tell, I am very passionate about Dragon Ball Z. And when it comes to other death battles with Dragon Ball characters in them, for me, I always try to be fair when it comes to a fight between other characters. Even if it's on Death Battle or your favourite Canadian YouTubers, video series, Show Off Showdown, where you put Chaos versus Frieza, and Frieza lost. And you know what? I accepted that because I have no doubts about your favourite Canadian YouTubers' abilities of researching how powerful these characters are. I mean, yeah, we can all agree that absolutely no one is perfect when it comes to research, but judging from what Canadian YouTubers said about Chaos being as powerful as he is, I was like, okay, fair enough. Chaos has infinite power thanks to this stone, and Frieza has a finite of power. And also, when it came to Captain Marvel versus Android 18 in Screw Attack's death battle, and even though Screw Attack doesn't understand power scaling, and amongst other things, there was this one part where they said that Android 18 can absorb energy, which isn't true. That was in the game, not in the anime or manga. Android 18 doesn't have that problem. She has infinite energy. Android 18 shouldn't have been able to absorb Captain Marvel's energy. So you see, Screw Attack can screw up on their research when it comes to research for their battles. Now, some of you are probably thinking, oh, let me guess. You're going to bring up how the research was wrong, and you're going to say how powerful Buu is, and how Buu should have won that fight, and you probably hate Kirby. You're just a Dragon Ball Z tard that can't get over the fact that his favourite character lost. Well, no. I am going to be 100% sincere of what I'm about to say. I don't hate Kirby. I don't hate his fanbase. I don't hate his series. I don't hate his games or anything Kirby related. I don't hate Kirby. Now here's the thing. Before Kirby vs Majin Buu, I knew of Kirby because I did see him in the Super Smash Bros. Game. And I did see him in a few videos, and he was mentioned in a few videos. I knew of Kirby from there and there, but I never really took the time to know who Kirby was. I thought he was just from a very old game series that nobody played anymore. And when Kirby vs Majin Buu came out, I was wrong, and he does have recent games, anime, and he has a huge fan base, which was a surprise. Now, just to let you guys know, I'm one of those YouTubers that will never ever bend the knee, only because a huge following of fans is following a character or a series or a movie or a game or a book, etc. Doesn't mean I'm going to bend the knee in order for a fan base to watch my videos more, to get subscribers, or just to say something that a huge fan base wants to hear. No, I'm one of those YouTubers who will be upfront and honest with his viewers. I mean, let me ask you guys something. What would you rather have a YouTuber say to you? Would you rather hear something that you want to hear from them, like me saying, I think the Kirby franchise is the best in the world, and Kirby can beat absolutely anybody in fiction. The Kirby games are good, the anime is good, and all I did was just give positivity to the Kirby franchise. And I wasn't being honest. I only said it because it would bring in more viewers or bring in more subscribers. Let me ask you guys this. Would you have preferred me saying, oh, I love Kirby, I think he's fantastic. He's better than any character in fiction, and Kirby can beat absolutely anybody in any fiction. But I only said it just to get more views or subscribers. How would you guys feel? Would you rather hear someone's personal opinion, or would you rather listen to things that you want to hear? Because if it was me, I would rather be somebody be honest than just say positive things about my favorite series or characters, etc. Like for example, there's this series called Code Geass, and the main character's name's Lelouch. I said this a few times in some of my videos, and I'm going to say it here. This series has a huge following, and loads of people love Lelouch. But the thing is, I don't. I think Code Geass is one of the worst anime series I've ever seen, and I really despise Lelouch. I think he and most of the characters in the series are awful. For me, it's just an awful series. And I know for a fact that there are Code Geass fans out there who isn't going to be too happy for me saying that. In fact, I made a few videos saying why I hate Code Geass and Lelouch. And if you guys was to watch the last video of the video series as to why I hate Code Geass and Lelouch, on the last video, the ratio was a 50-50 split. So I pissed off a lot of fans who really loves this series and Lelouch. And some people might say, oh, I'm a troll that's looking for attention, or I'm trying to get a reaction out of people. But that isn't the case. I would rather be open and honest to my audience than just say something that my audience wants to hear. And that, in my opinion, is the best thing that a YouTuber can do for his audience. And I'm going to say this to the Kirby fanbase. I do not hate Kirby. I don't hate his fanbase. I don't hate his games. I don't hate his anime. Well, simply because I haven't played his games or watched the anime. The only information that I know of Kirby is in Death Battle's video of Kirby vs Majin Buu. And also I have seen a few reviews of Kirby's games. You know, the earlier ones. So yeah, I don't know anything about Kirby other than of what I've been told on Death Battle's Kirby vs Majin Buu. But I would like to ask the Kirby fanbase this, and I want you guys to be 100% honest with me. Can Kirby defeat absolutely any fictional character from any series? And I'm talking about any fictional series. Can he defeat Cthulhu? Can he defeat Cosmic Armor Superman? Can he defeat the Presence? Can he defeat the One Above All? Can he defeat Dark Snyder from Bastard? Can he defeat SCP-682? Or Chaos from Skylanders? There are loads of characters from fiction that can easily defeat Kirby. But let me ask you guys this, from all the fictional characters I've just mentioned on this list, can Kirby defeat any of these characters? Yes or no? Because I know for a fact that Kirby does not stand a chance against most of these characters. It's like Goku versus the One Above All, or the Presence, or the Beyonder, Cosmic Armor Superman, Cthulhu, etc. I know for a fact there are characters out there that Goku can never ever defeat, no matter how powerful he gets. And you know what, I've accepted that. And you guys have to admit, Kirby cannot beat every single fictional character in fiction. And if you guys can admit that, then we're on the same track. Because from this point on, I'm going to explain to you guys what pissed me off about Kirby vs Majin Buu. And no, I'm not going to explain how Majin Buu can beat Kirby. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be asking questions. I'm going to point out problems with the fight. And yes, I'm also going to point out the problems with Majin Buu in this fight. And it's not going to be a competition saying, aha, see, Majin Buu can beat Kirby. No, it's not going to be like that. All I'm going to do is point out the problems in this fight that Screw Attack got wrong. And I'm also going to be asking you, the Kirby fanbase, of how powerful Kirby is, and some random questions, and I want you guys to answer in the comment sections below. And since I'm a big Dragon Ball Z fan, I'm also going to be explaining how things work in Dragon Ball Z, and how Buu works, and all that stuff. And before I continue, there's one other thing I'd like to mention. 4 years ago, when I started doing YouTube, I was a nervous wreck, and I was worried what people would think about me. And when I did this episode, the like and dislike ratio in that reaction video wasn't very favourable. I had a lot of dislikes on that video, so it's likely that I pissed off a lot of fans of Kirby. But now, I have a lot more confidence, and since I'm this confident now, I am going to show the likes and dislikes of this video, because hey, we grow and learn as we grow older, and I would like to think that I've done that. So I am going to show you guys the likes and dislikes ratio of my reaction video of Kirby vs Boo, because now I have a lot of confidence in myself now. I should be able to take criticisms and just deal with them. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that. And there's one other thing I'd like to say. There are YouTubers out there that have explained why either Majin Buu would win, or how Boo and Kirby was downplayed. So if you guys want to go and check those videos out, I will leave a link in the description box below to those videos. Again, I'm not here to prove, Boo won, or I'm trying to be stuck up or anything like that. All I'm trying to do is start a discussion. I would like to have a civil discussion with the Kirby fanbase. No trolling, no fanboying, all I want is a discussion. And I would like you guys to go and watch those videos and just listen to what those YouTubers have to say. And if you can debunk them on as to why those YouTubers are wrong, then be my guest. This is what this video and those other videos are for. They are not there to bash Kirby or troll Kirby or piss off their fans. All we're trying to do is just start a civil discussion. And that's what I'm going to do in this video. And with that said and done, let's resume to the video. Now, to start off this discussion, I would like to ask the Kirby fans this. How many versions of Kirby is there? I've seen Kirby in games, I've seen Kirby in an anime. I don't know if there's a manga for Kirby, but I'm going to assume there is. Now I know Kirby has been in games, and in his first appearance on a game, Kirby didn't have the ability to copy his opponent's abilities. That I know for certain. And that's kind of the problem. In Kirby's first appearance in a game, Kirby didn't have the ability to copy his opponent's abilities. And I'm not really 100% sure what other abilities Kirby had in other games, and I don't know how many games Kirby's been in. But let me ask you guys this. Does Kirby have different incarnations? Has he been in different stories that's been disconnected from each other? Or all the games are just all one continuous story from the very first game to the newest game? Because I don't know. I do not know that much about Kirby. That's why I'm asking you guys. It's like saying every single version of Superman are all the exact same Superman, which isn't true. Each Superman is unique in his own way. Cosmic Armor, Superboy Prime, New 52, Silver Age, Golden Age, you know, all that jazz. What I'm trying to get at is, if Kirby does have different incarnations, like maybe a version of Kirby in the games, or in one of the games, could have an ability that the anime Kirby doesn't have. For example, in the manga, in the Goku Black arc, Goku uses the Akoi on Zamasu in the manga. But in the anime, Goku has never used the Akoi on Zamasu, or in the anime in general, so far. It's kinda like that. And the thing is, we've seen Trunks use the Mafuba to seal Zamasu away in the anime, but in the manga, it was Goku who used the Mafuba on Zamasu, not Trunks. So Goku can use the Mafuba and the Akoi in the manga. So let me ask you guys this. Would it be fair to mesh anime Kirby, game Kirby, and manga Kirby into one character, just so you would have an edge in a fight? I mean, that's like saying, let's mesh up every single Superman. Each version of Goku, each version of Superman, and each version of Kirby are unique in their own way, in their own continuities. Or let me ask you this. Remember when I said that Android 18 and 17 can absorb energy in one of the games? When in fact, in both in the anime and manga, Android 17 and 18 can't absorb energy. But that's exactly what Screw Attack did. They got the game ability of what Android 18 can do, which he has never been able to do in the anime or the manga. So if there's like any abilities or techniques that Kirby can do in the games or the anime or the manga individually, then you can't just put every single technique and ability that game Kirby and anime Kirby and manga Kirby has and mix them up into one character. It's the same with Majin Buu. There are different versions of Majin Buu, and I'm not talking about his different forms. There is also Xeno Majin Buu, and this version of Majin Buu is from an alternate timeline, and also he is much more powerful than the main timeline version of himself. He absorbed Xeno Deborah and Xeno Janemba, and this version of Kid Buu is much more powerful, and I mean much more powerful than the Majin Buu that Kirby fought in Screw Attack's death battle. Now let me ask you guys this. Would it be fair to mesh the Majin Buu that Kirby fought and Xeno Buu? Would that be fair? And I will say no, it wouldn't be fair, because Main Timeline Majin Buu and Xeno Majin Buu are completely different Majin Buus. Xeno Majin Buu is from the games and from an alternate timeline. I mean, I could understand if Screwattack was to use each Kid Buu individually to fight Kirby, but meshing them up would be an unfair advantage. They are completely different characters. And that's another thing I like to bring up. I've been told by Kirby fans that Kirby can beat gods with infinite power. And that's one of the things that confuses me. If Kirby is this all-powerful main character that can destroy gods, then explain this to me. Why is it when he's in games, he's hit a couple of times and then he dies just by getting defeated by grunts or mini-bosses? And that's kind of the problem. In a game, if you have a power-up and you're hit by an enemy, you lose your power of the enemy you absorbed and you go back to regular Kirby. And if you're hit a couple of more times, you die. But again, this is game Kirby. And I know that it depends on how well you play the game, but it kind of baffles me that Kirby can beat almighty powerful gods that can destroy reality itself or the universe itself, but he can easily be defeated by grunts if he's hit one or two more times. So again, we've got some inconsistencies here. And it's the same with the anime. I've seen Kirby in Screwattack's death battle that he can survive a planet blowing up in his face or being eclipsed or something like that. And I've also saw Kirby get smashed on by a giant rock square guy or something. And you know what? That's all well and good. But again, they are meshing up the anime and the manga, so you can't do that. Now I know there's going to be some people out there who's going to say that Majin Buu can withstand a planet exploding in his face and he has to regenerate himself. Well, the thing with Majin Buu is Majin Buu doesn't care if he blows up into a million pieces because he knows that he can easily reform himself. I mean, let's have a look at Frieza for a second. Frieza on Namek was battle worn, he was sliced in half, he was blasted by Goku and he was slowly dying, but he managed to survive an exploding planet. Majin Buu is leagues and leagues and leagues and leagues and leagues and leagues and leagues much more powerful than Frieza when he was on Namek. It's all about power scaling. Now I know there's going to be some people out there who's probably going to say, oh but Geek Freak, what about Vegeta? When Vegeta was in his Super Saiyan Blue form and Frieza blew up the planet, he died alongside the planet and he was much more powerful than Frieza. Well, here's the thing. It was stated by Beerus that Frieza can survive in the vacuum of space. He doesn't need air to breathe. So Vegeta died because he didn't have any air to breathe, not because he died from the explosion from the Earth. I mean, yeah, maybe Majin Buu would still be out there somewhere, because Majin Buu can also breathe in the vacuum of space. But there was a few characters on Earth that can withstand the Earth blowing up in their faces. Android 17, Android 18, the Cell Juniors, again Majin Buu, I think maybe Yamcha, maybe? The point is that Buu is durable. There has been characters in the Dragon Ball universe who has withstand bullets. Goku's withstand bullets, Cell's withstood bullets. I'm pretty sure at the end of Dragon Ball, characters around Goku and Piccolo's power level, anyone above that level can withstand bullets. And Screwattack says, Majin Buu skin has been penetrated by bullets. Like it's supposed to be some big deal. Hell, in the manga, in his Super Buu form, Super Buu gets a lot of bullets fired at him and they go straight through him. And Buu regenerates like it's nothing. Now when it comes to other characters like Cell or Goku who gets hit by bullets, Goku and Cell are so powerful that they don't even need to do anything and just stand there and just let the bullets hit them. I mean, you could say the same thing with Buu. Buu just stands there and just lets it happen. But instead of just taking the bullets, like what Cell and Goku does, Buu prefers to let it happen and just regenerate. And also, speaking of power scaling, Kid Buu is a bit more powerful than Super Saiyan 3 Goku in Z. It has been stated in the series that Kid Buu could destroy galaxies over years. So Kid Buu has a lot of firepower. And that's one thing I'd like to ask the Kirby fanbase. Can Kirby regenerate himself? I mean, if Kirby was to be sliced in half, would he be able to regenerate himself? That's just a question because I have absolutely no idea about Kirby. Please let me know in the comment section below. Now the next thing I'd like to talk about is, why is it that Kirby is able to have enemies for him to absorb during the fight with Majin Buu, while Buu wasn't able to absorb characters like Gotenks, Piccolo, Gohan? Because I thought death battles was supposed to be fair and square. It seems to me that Kirby has had more outside help than what Buu had. Kirby seems to be in his natural environment. Kirby was surrounded by creatures that comes from his world, and I'm going to assume that these are creatures that Kirby absorbs on a daily basis to gain their power. I mean, do I need to remind you guys that this is outside help? The fact that Kirby gets to absorb creatures from his universe, while Majin Buu doesn't, seems very unfair if you ask me. Again, why wasn't Buu allowed to absorb Piccolo or Gotenks, Gohan, or hell, in Budokai 2, or was it Budokai 3, Super Buu absorbed Vegeta, Frieza, Cell, and Yamcha and Tien. How awesome would it be if Fat Buu or Kid Buu absorb those guys? Now I know some of you are going to say, oh but Geek Freak,
Boo absorbed a few characters when he was fighting against Kirby, so Boo used outside help too.
Okay, there's a few things I'd like to say. Number one, even though Boo absorbed one of those creatures that Kirby was absorbing too, doesn't mean it's gonna be the same results. All Fat Boo did was absorb a creature that had a sword, and the sword was the only thing that Boo got. I mean, Boo could have easily just taken the weapon without absorbing that creature. And number two, if you guys ever paid attention to the series, every time Boo absorbed somebody, his appearance would change. But in this fight, Boo didn't change. All he got was just a sword. And number three, Boo wouldn't absorb weak creatures or weak people. Boo would only absorb people if they were just equally or stronger than him. And I'm pretty damn sure that those creatures that Kirby absorbs aren't as strong as Boo. And number four, we have never seen Fat Boo absorb somebody. And even though Fat Boo is capable of absorbing people, we've never seen him do it. I mean, the other versions of Majin Boo can absorb people. Super Boo, Kid Boo, Skinny Boo. We've seen these guys absorb people, but Fat Boo hasn't done that. So it was kind of weird to see that. And speaking of which, I would like to say this. If Boo was to absorb Kirby or turn him into candy, then it would have been an automatic win for Majin Boo. I mean, if Boo was to turn Kirby into candy, then Kirby wouldn't be able to do anything. And also, the same can be said if Boo absorbed Kirby. There really wouldn't be anything that Kirby could do. Now some people would say, oh, Kirby could somehow put a shield around himself, just like what Vegeta did. Well, the thing is, Kirby wouldn't see it coming because Kirby doesn't know anything about Boo. So yeah, I'm gonna let that sink in. And the other thing that really pissed me off was they didn't use all versions of Boo. And there was a few things that Death Battle did that made me say, yep, they don't know how Boo's evolutions work. Okay, first off, it would have been better if they got all versions of Boo and one by one they should have made them fight Boo, because each version of Boo is different in power scaling, they have different personalities, different goals, they aren't all the same person. And also, Boo-Han is the most powerful version of Boo, not Kid Boo. Kid Boo is the second most powerful version of Boo. And second, when Kirby absorbed Boo and Fat Boo was angry, Fat Boo smoked out Kid Boo, which didn't happen in the anime. Fat Boo actually smoked out Skinny Boo, and Skinny Boo absorbed Fat Boo, and then Skinny Boo transformed into Super Boo, and then Super Boo absorbed Piccolo and Gotenks and Gohan, and those three were cut out from Boo, and then Fat Boo was cut off from Super Boo, and Super Boo became Kid Boo. That is the general process, not the bullshit that Death Battle gave us, where Fat Boo just smoked out Kid Boo. And if you ask me, I think Super Boo would have been a much better matchup for Kirby. At least he was smarter than Fat Boo and Kid Boo. So you guys get it now? First it's Fat Boo, then Fat Boo smokes out Skinny Boo, then Skinny Boo eats Fat Boo, and then Skinny Boo becomes Super Boo, and then Fat Boo is cut off from Super Boo, and Super Boo becomes Kid Boo. And you know what? This was one of the things that really pissed me off. It was clear that Death Battle didn't know what the hell they was talking about, or know enough about how Boo's evolution works. Now, the next thing I'd like to talk about is speed. Now, when it comes to speed, I'm pretty sure most of you know what travel speed is and battle speed is. Battle speed is the speed of which a character can fight, and travel speed is which a character or object can move by running or flying on something. Both of these things are different, they aren't the same, and the same thing can be said for attack speed and reaction speed and flight speed. Now here's the thing, Kirby was flying on his warp store. That thing is a vehicle, that isn't his actual speed. That's like me saying I can fight and react at the same speed of a bullet train because I rode on it. So Kirby fighting on his store against Majin Buu does not make any sense. He wouldn't have the reaction time or the attack time. Now depending on which Majin Buu you're talking about, Buu-Han is the most powerfulest, but since Kirby went up against Kid Buu, I'm just gonna say that Kid Buu is much more faster than Kirby when it comes to battle speed. However, let's just say for example that Kirby was faster than Buu. Just for example, and let's just say for example that there is some proof out there that Kirby is much more faster than Buu. I mean, if there are instances where Kirby is much more faster than Buu, then what exactly could Kirby actually do to Buu? I mean, let's just say for example that Kirby and Majin Buu was in the Autobot time chamber, and Kirby was much more faster than Buu, and Kirby had his sword, creatures he could absorb, and so on, and there was no sun to push Buu into. What exactly could Kirby actually do to Buu to kill him? And even if Kirby was to absorb Buu, Buu would just get out because Buu would just rip through dimensions and continue the fight. And that's sort of the thing. In the games, if you touch him a few times, he loses his power of the creature he absorbed, and if he's hit again, boom, he's dead. And that's the thing. how durable is Kirby anyways? And I'm not talking about games, I'm talking about in general. Like, how much can he take before he just keels over? I have looked it up, and apparently Kirby's durability is multi-solar system levels. And that's exactly how much power Boo has. Boo-hon is the most powerful version of Boo, so he could most likely be multi-solar system plus. Maybe a small galaxy, maybe? But Kid Boo is definitely multi-solar system levels. Now, even though it sounds like I'm being biased by saying other stuff, what Kid Boo could do, or what Fat Boo can do, etc, etc. And even though I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan, I've got nothing against Kirby. I don't hate Kirby, I know nothing about Kirby, but if you guys love him, well, you know what, more power to you. But my biggest frustration has always been about Screw Attack screwing up the analysis when it comes to fights. I mean, come on, who is going to know their favourite character the best? And in this fight, for instance, Screw Attack doesn't know Kirby or Majin Buu. It's the fans who know the characters very well. And I know for a fact that Majin Buu can be defeated by other fictional characters, and the same could be said for Kirby as well. There are other fictional characters that can beat Kirby. It's us fans who know these characters well. And the one thing that we should be hating, both the Kirby fans and the Buu fans, is the inaccuracies that Screw Attack gives out. And not just in this fight, there's also the Goku vs Superman fight, Android 18 versus Captain Marvel, Shadow vs Vegeta, etc, 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 etc. And even though I know that Screw Attack's videos are meant for entertainment purposes only, at the very least they could try to get the information right about our favourite characters. Now, there are two videos I would like both the Kirby and Dragon Ball Z fanbase to go and check out, and they are both videos on Boo and Kirby, and these two videos debunk the things that Screw Attack said in their videos. Now, I know there's going to be some people out there who's going to say, "Oh no, Geek Freak, you are completely wrong. I'm not going to be watching any biased videos made by Dragon Ball tards. You are 100% wrong, and Kirby did win and would always win against Boo." Okay. I'm going to repeat something I said earlier in this video. Screw Attack made a video about Android 18 and Captain Marvel, and it is this. Screw Attack said that Android 18 can absorb energy, and in the fight, Android 18 absorbed Captain Marvel's power during the fight. But here's the problem. Android 18 in the series, the manga and anime, including her brother, Android 17, they both can't absorb energy. They have infinite power within them. They are not like Android 20 and 19. And when I first saw that, I was like, dude, Android 17 and 18 can't absorb energy. I mean, yeah, there's Super 17 from GT, but that's only because Android 18 fused with Hellfighter 17. But that was in GT, and that was Android 17, her brother. And also, during the fight with Kirby vs Majin Buu, when Fat Boo smoked out Kid Boo, even I was pissed off when this happened, because Fat Boo should have smoked out Evil Boo, and then Evil Boo would have absorbed Fat Boo, and then Evil Boo would have became Super Boo. And there are other fights that Screw Attack has done and got information wrong. I mean, come on, these guys don't even know what Ichigo's power is in Bleach. These guys don't understand anything, and the only ones that can understand characters is the fanbase. You know what? Sure, I have my biases. There are characters that I want to see win in a fight. There are series, movies, characters I like that everyone else hates. And people have characters, games, movies, series that I hate that everybody else loves. I mean, it's the same with Godzilla vs King Kong in the upcoming movie. I made a video on how poisonous the fanbase is. And you know what? I think you guys should go and watch that video, because in that video, even though I'm talking about the Godzilla fanbase, you could interpret the video of me talking about fanbases in general. Now you guys get the idea. I might be a Dragon Ball Z fanboy, and I might have biases, but I also prefer a fair fight with accurate information when it comes to fight debates. And if I hated a character or a series, I would come out and say it. Again, I'm not one of those YouTubers that'll just say something just to get more views or subscribers. And even if I was to say something negative about a certain series or character or so on, that has a huge fan base, I would stick to what I said, even if I was to get a huge backlash. But there are times where I can be wrong, or I get my information wrong. I will come forward and say I'm sorry. I'm one of those people that will never ever bend the knee just to please other people. And to those who bend the knee for others so they won't hurt other people's feelings, yeah, to you guys, shame on you. And even though I've already said it in this video, and I'm going to say it again, to the Kirby fanbase, I do apologise for being a sore loser and bias when it comes to Boo versus Kirby. Again, I'm not bending the knee to anybody, I'm apologising because of the way I acted. I do believe Boo can defeat Kirby in a fight. However, if somebody was to give me information and give me reasons why Kirby can defeat Majin Buu in detail, then I will gladly submit defeat. Again, I respect Kirby. I respect your love for Kirby. I have no ill will towards Kirby or the fanbase. I'm more angry at Death Battle for their crappy research. I mean, let me ask you guys something. Like I said earlier in the video, Screw Attack also did a fight with Android 18 versus Captain Marvel, and in that video they said that Android 18 can absorb energy, which isn't true. She's never done it in the manga and she's never done it in the anime. Now let me ask you guys this. What if they said something about Kirby, like he has like a super secret technique or an ability that he's only ever used in one game and has never used it in the past? Since then, because he doesn't have that ability anymore, but they brought it in anyways, would you guys be pleased that they brought in a technique or ability that Kirby can't use anymore to use against Boo? It's like, for example, let's just say for example that they decide to make a Goku vs Superman fight part 3 and they used Tournament of Power Goku and Screw Attack let Goku use the Ultra Instinct against Superman. Would that be fair? And the answer would be no, because Goku doesn't know how to use the Ultra Instinct now after the Tournament of Power. It would be completely unfair to give Goku that ability. It would be something like that. What if Kirby had an equivalency of that? Like he had an ability but he can't use it anymore, but Screw Attack decided to put it in the fight for Kirby to use. Would you guys be happy about that? That Kirby is using a technique or an ability that he can't use anymore? And if you ask me, I don't think it would be fair. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, yeah, this video has been way too long. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll catch you guys next time. I'm Geek Freak. Peace out. Thank you guys for watching. And if there's a series you want me to check out and review and give my thoughts on it, or if there's a top 10 list you want me to do, or any reactions, or responses, or rants on anything geeky, just leave links and comments in the comment sections below, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. If you guys want to go and check out my other social medias, I'm on Gab, Discord, BitChute, Tumblr, Dailymotion, Reddit, Subscribestar, Minds, Instagram, Twitch, DeviantArt, Pinterest, Parler, my anime list, and Vidya. And don't forget to check out my Skeptic channel, Gypsy Freak. And my other social medias are down there in the description box below, so if you want to go and check them out, please do. And if you guys want to support this channel, I'm on PayPal, Patreon, and GoFundMe. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you won't miss another video. I'm Geek Freak. Peace out.